Next thing I want to share with you is a quick one. If you're like me and you have not touched up on your music theory lately, speaking for myself, I need to always put my hand on my keyboard to see which keys are in which scale. I've been really lazy with memorizing the scales, especially the different types of scales. I can find my way around a major or a minor scale, but that's about it. But there are ways to make sure that everything you do in Logic Pro stays in a certain key, regardless of if you've ever learned music theory. And one way to do that is inside the piano roll editor. This is actually a trick that comes from Ableton Live users. So as a Logic user, you might never have heard of this, but it's very handy. As you can see, this here is my region, right? This here is 4 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's space beyond that and before that in the piano roll editor. Now this allows me to draw in a scale using my pencil tool. Let's say I want to draw in a C major scale, only the whites. So this is 1 octave of C major keys. Okay, now I'm going to repeat that. 1 octave below, 1 octave above. So I got 3 octaves of C major. Okay, now what I can do is bring these notes outside of the region. So whatever I do, they're not playing. If I have an instrument on this track, they're not playing because they're not inside the region. So this way you can actually use those notes as guides as to where you can place your notes for the C major scale. Not very handy if you ask me. So I'm going to delete these and I'll go to this, the collapse mode. And what this does is it will collapse the height of this region to only show the notes that are being used. Okay, so what that means, if I collapse this region, only the notes that are in the C major scale, the notes that I've drawn here, are visible. So it doesn't matter where I put my notes, they're always inside the C major scale. And you can do this with any other scale, of course. Okay, so that's one trick, originally from Ableton Live users. And I've seen people use that a lot. Now let's go to that next trick, and that is actually the scale quantize inside the piano roll. This is very handy. Let's say if I want to have a D sharp minor scale, I can now draw in notes, doesn't matter where they are, and then quantize these notes to the D sharp minor scale. Boom, there they go. It's not really that handy if you ask me for creative purposes because you still need to input the notes. And if you need to draw in random notes and then quantize them to a scale, that's a bit convoluted. But there is another way. And actually, it baffles me that now that I've set the D sharp minor scale, that not all the notes that I draw in are automatically put into the correct scale. But, and not everybody knows this, you're not supposed to use the pencil for that. What you need to use is actually the brush tool. Because now what happens is, no matter what I do, all these notes are part of the D sharp minor scale. I assure you. And if I select them all and maybe want to put them in the D sharp major scale, there they go. You see that happen? All these notes here, if I quantize these, they're now part of the major scale. So once again, I take them out. I use the brush tool, take any scale that I like, minor blues scale. All these notes are now part, automatically, of the D sharp minor blues scale. So that's a couple ways to always stay in key.